guys, we are back here with another build kit review. Welcome back. This one I want to show you is one of my oldest, very ancient builds. This AMT 1949 Mercury was first built by me in the very early 90s, around 1991 or 1992. Now I really can't recall precisely the year. This car was built box stock to represent my dream 49 Mercury. And what is this? My dream 49 Mercury is the 49 Mercury I would want in 1/1 scale. And this is this car, this dream I have, at least materialized in 1/25 scale. The AMT kit is really amazing, is a great kit, has no fit issues and has great detail. The overall body proportions are dead on. The car looks correct and will keep that way even if you put it side by side with a 1/1 scale Mercury. So this is why I highly praise the early AMT bodies. The kits they developed in the 60s were just beyond amazing. And this one has no opening doors but has an opening trunk, what is really great, especially for the age of the model. Back when I painted this one, I didn't have an airbrush, so I painted it all with one of those generic household paints, spray paints that are really made for you to give a touch up on your refrigerator, on your bicycle, or even on your fence, painting some appliances and stuff like that. The paint was never really intended for modeling use, but being a synthetic enamel, it was kind of adequate. The bad part about this paint that was manufactured by a Brazilian company called Colorgen, and this Colorgen company is part of the Sherwin-Williams Corporate. The bad part about this paint is that they changed the formula somewhere between 1994 and 1995, and it started being really aggressive to the plastic, to the polystyrene our little dreams are made of. So I have to come up with an alternate solution, and that's when I got my first airbrush. So thank you, Colorgen, for changing your paint, because if you hadn't, I would be only using spray cans until today. You guys that only use spray cans to paint your cars, I have nothing against that. I use a spray can to paint cars today, and I think they are just great. their advantages are many, like you don't have to worry about cleaning your airbrush. It's the job has the same quality of an airbrush job. And now I can feel some of you really saying this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, but I can guarantee that I can get the same quality with a spray can and with the airbrush. You just have to know how to use the spray can. If you get too close, it's just like washing the model with paint, and it will run and will ruin everything. If you are too far, your model will be full of orange peel. So all in all, painting with a spray can and getting a first-class finish is a little harder than doing the same with an airbrush. I think I was kind of blessed because I learned to paint with spray cans, and when I got to airbrushes, well, that was a breeze. That was just super easy. I couldn't believe how easy it was to paint with that airbrush. But now back to the model. This one is a 100% stock AMT kit. It was inside its original box for more than 20 years. Last year I decided to give this model a complete polishing and cleaning to bring it back to its former glory, because even inside the box the paint was not as shiny as it was when I first painted it, and the white walls were starting to get a little yellow, and the interior was black. What kind of killed the interior? Well, you have a black car with a black interior. Well, you can't see pumpkin of the interior, if you know what I'm talking about. So I took the model apart, I polished the glass, and I decided to repaint the interior into a two-tone scheme that I'm going to show you. Here we are. This two-tone scheme, I looked on a Mercury catalog and I found the correct colors to paint it. So you have medium gray and light gray to replicate the two tones of cloth used on the seats and on the door panels. The dash itself was not modified. It's the original work from the early 90s. Only the seats, door panels, and the carpeting were repainted on this model. Only this. The white walls were cleaned with a mix of water and Windex that took all that yellowish, how can I say, that oxidized upper layer of paint off, and they started to white off again, just like the day I painted them first. The chrome is all original from the early 90s, because since that time I have the habit of clear coating the entire chrome tree before even starting on detailing them. So all this chrome is original and was in great shape. I had to cut this little nod here, if you can see. Let's wait for the camera to focus. On the horizontal bar above the license plate, because somehow AMT forgot about the 8 emblem on the center of the grille. If you wanted to make the front bumper to work with the factory stock 8 emblem on the grille, you would have to cut this little nut on the chrome bar, just like I did. If not, you will end with a hanging down front fender that is really ugly. Here on the side you can see the original paint job. I just gave it a little buffing with some Meguiar's car wax, and when I built this car I used a household aluminum foil for the chrome, but this car is kind of a hybrid because I still used the silver paint to paint the actual trim around the windows and the vent windows too. So the vent windows, the chrome around the windows, and on the quarter window here is painted with Tester's chrome, and I didn't want to change that when I restored the kit. All the rest of the chrome is household aluminum foil, and it still looks really shiny after 20 plus years. I did some kit bashing when I was building this kit. If you ever opened the box of the AMT 49 Mercury, you'll notice that the stock rear lights or tail lights they send with the kit, they are just a red styrene part that you have to paint the chrome around. Well, on the AMT 1953 truck, F100 truck, you have those tail lights in chrome, and you have to paint the red with your Tamiya transparent red, and that's what I did. I kit bashed the rear lights with the ones from the AMT truck. The trunk is complete with the white wall spare, and I opened all the 5 holes for the lugs and also the center hole there for the wheel to be able to accommodate the front wheel bearings. Oops. The jack came chrome on the kit, and when I first built it I just glued the jack and the chrome base to the trunk, and that's what it is. They had the rest of the tools are in this little bag here on the side. You can see the tire wrench coming out of it, and other than the outside appearance, you can see what I did to the engine. The hood is a little tight, and here is the engine. This is the original Mercury flathead V8. The spark plug wires came molded onto the heads, so I didn't add any coming out of the distributor, what is kind of odd. And here in this side you can also see the representation of spark plug wires molded directly on the head. The battery is not a separated part, it's part of the inner fender, and you have to detail paint it there. Here I have the stock carburetor and air cleaner, as this is supposed to be a bone stock 1949 Mercury. And the underside is quite stock too. You have the lower part of the engine, the transmission, the single exhaust pipe that goes all the way to the back. You have your fuel tank painted with Tamiya metallizer, and you have your stock front suspension that is pulsable, and this was not a modification, it's just something the kit already has. And all in all, being one of my oldest builds, I'm still not only happy, but I'm still really proud of what I did back then with this Mercury. I don't know that if I got a fresh kit today I would be able to do any better. Probably the only thing I would do different would be the trim around the side windows that I would actually foil, but other than that I wouldn't do anything much different than what is here. Well guys, thanks again for your patience, for watching this video, and please comment. I really love reading your comments and ask your questions. I will be very, very happy to answer. And thank you very much again, and have a great week.